Am I the only one who did not know this? Please tell me, did you know this as well? My name is Taquisha, this is Our Freedom Song, and I am so happy that you're here. So I came across the coolest bit of information. Did you know that plants communicate through chemical signals? When they are under threat, they actually send signals to the plants around them that they're under attack so that the other plants can bolster up their defenses. Like, that's a whole word. So not only can they send these signals through the air, but they can send signals through their roots. I had to write this down, y'all. Listen to this. These roots can signal to nearby plants about nutrient availability or potential threats, encouraging them to adjust their growth or defense strategies. I mean, I feel like that is the story of the garden community. It's so wild because I knew that plants could somehow communicate, but when I started to research how they're doing it, my mind was absolutely blown. I understood that plants are living things, they're alive, but to say that they speak, communicate to one another, that just takes the whole alive thing to another level. And it's so cool because we get to be like the plants, all the other plants in the garden, communicating to one another to help each other when something is going wrong so that you can bolster up those defenses. It's just such a cool thing. I was just completely blown away and encouraged by that so much, and I hope you are too. So it was only recently that I learned this about lemongrass. I've been growing lemongrass. This is my second year growing it, y'all. And I kept thinking, why isn't the lemongrass more lemongrassy? You know, it's there, but it's so light. And I've harvested the lemongrass and dried it, and I use it actually for decor in the house. But it doesn't have that potent lemongrass smell. It's just barely there. How about I recently learned that it's not that part, it's the part down here by the root that is harvested, and that's why it's always really thick. This is the part that we purchase out of the store, not the thin grass at the top, but this stalk. I was like, what? Isn't it amazing to always be learning something new? So when I harvest, I'm going to be harvesting the stalks of lemongrass and not just the foliage, even though the foliage is really beautiful and I'm sure it has lots of medicinal properties as well. But this right here, this is the cream of the crop, y'all. Am I the only one who did not know this? Please tell me, did you know this as well? And where did you learn it from? I had no idea. So I'm going to have to start pulling these out so that I can thin them. But I don't want to just pull them and break them. I actually want to pull them out with the roots so that I can give some away and transplant some to different sections, because I am definitely missing some in some areas, and then I have a bulk of seeds in other areas, seedlings, and so I'm excited about this. I think that this green stalk is going to be beautifully teeming with all the greens. So if you missed that video, my daughters came out and they helped me sow seeds in our green stalks, and I just told them to sprinkle some, and they did a good job. So now I just have to come through and just thin it so that I can make sure that they are going to have enough space to grow. This is kale. This is the pak choi that I'm so excited about. Pak choi. So many starts. So I am actually thinking about planting a brassica in each one of these grow bags, and we have 22. The only thing with that is that I would have to cover every single one. If you have any suggestions on what you use to cover your grow bags, do you just use the netting and cut each one to size, or is there something that you found that just already comes ready and you can just use it? It's the perfect size for your grow bag. I would absolutely love to know. So this is the first purple little bell pepper that has grown, and so that is so cute. I already started to fill this with some extra soil from that other bed, so I don't see the tag, but super cute. I'm actually going to do a pepper harvest, and while I do my pepper harvest, would love to catch you up on this morning. I felt so productive, like I got so much done this morning. So cold and flu season is upon us. I've been very intentional about making sure I get my daily dose of ginger, which is so incredible all the time, but especially when our bodies need some immunity. And so I've been doing that daily. And my favorite way to have it is just to make this ginger concentrate, add some lemon and some hot water, and I will sweeten it with some of my favorite sweetener. This cup I'm actually making for my son, who absolutely loves ginger, and so I'm making him a nice cup of ginger and lemon tea. I did throw a cinnamon stick in there. He absolutely loves those as well. And he is actually outside, y'all, helping me with these file cabinet planters. So he is painting them up for me. My heart is happy because I'm so happy to see these getting painted, because as soon as they're painted, they can move into the garden.
It's really good.
So my daily ginger has not been the only thing that I have been focused on. I have actually been working on so many tea blends and just really organizing things. This is Notion. I am just a baby when it comes to this app, but it has been amazing. I'm enjoying using it so much. And I know last year I talked about the fact that I was growing my apocathery. Well, you can see that I was growing my apocathery. I'm growing it, and so I wanted to come in and just make a immune boosting type of tea and tonic for our family for throughout the day. So we had one for the morning, and then I also have one that will be brewing throughout the day for a tonic that everybody will have in the evening before we go to bed. I also have a ton of tinctures, and so for the evening I will probably add a tincture to that, some sort of tincture that helps with sleep, so everybody can rest really well. And so I'm excited. I'm at the very tip of what I'm trying to do and trying to be consistent with it, but I am motivated for sure. This is that valerian that I mentioned. It is really great when it comes to its calming and sedative effects, as far as just if you need some really great rest. This one is great. I also have this chamomile tincture brewing up. I love chamomile tinctures. This is the rose hip oil that I was telling you guys I was going to make. I mixed it with almond and jojoba oil and plan to use it for the face. This is the calendula that I have soaking. I think that's in jojoba oil. Skull cap tincture, and this, y'all, is that comfrey that we grew in the garden and dried in the greenhouse and put in olive oil. I am so excited about this. And of course, we always have our fire cider locked and loaded. I am also making our elderberry syrup today. I am using dried elderberry as well as fresh elderberries that we were able to get from a friend who has a ton of elderberry trees. That's your tea. Do you like your tea with? I also had the time, which made me so happy, to get some bread started. My plan is to make 4 loaves of bread. One will be for dinner tonight, and then a dessert type of cinnamon sugar bread. And then the last 2 loaves we will use for tomorrow, one for breakfast and one for lunch. There is so much joy in being able to do these things at home, like for your family. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but you know what? I'm sure in this community, so many of you feel that same way. Whenever you are able to just accomplish things holistically, like it's so satisfying. Oh wow. When the earth is moving faster? Like when the crust is. Oh, the crust. Cool. So I know I've showed you guys this before. It's the pull apart bread. It's super easy. You just take your dough and make a whole bunch of little balls, and then make sure you oil each ball. And then I typically do a cheese pull apart bread, but this one is going to be a garlic and herb. And so all I'm going to do is just make sure all of the dough is covered with some oil. I use olive oil, and then I'm just going to add my garlic. And the thing with garlic is you just want to add more than you think you need. When it comes to garlic bread, if you want it to be garlicky and you are just like one of those people who you need like specific, you know, like measurements, and you don't have it, so you're watching this and you're like, but how much? Just a little bit more than you think you need. You got this, girl. All I can say is that I am just so happy that I did not pull these plants out last week, because this is a good bit of food. Like, this will make a whole meal. Yes, the peppers are starting to get much smaller, but collectively, man, that is a really, really, really nice breakfast. So I'm excited. Okay, so now I'm hungry. I'm going to see if I don't have a couple sweet potatoes ready, because that would be amazing. So we still have about 6 weeks before our first frost, which means that we don't have to pull our sweet potatoes for another 6 weeks. But I'm gonna lightly just kind of look in here and see if I can't just get, can your girl just get 1 sweet potato? Maybe 2. Let's see if we can't find a sweet potato, y'all. I see it. I think I need some gloves, because I'm not trying to stick my hand in there. I done been getting bit by ants. Yes! Oh my goodness. Yes. Food. This must be the Japanese white sweet potato. Oh my goodness. I need one more. I'm being greedy. Wait. One more. Come on. I know you in there. Man. Can you go get one more sweet potato? I think I see one. A small, but that's all right. That's okay. Cool is it to be hungry and to come outside and get some food. Oh, I see a purple one. Yes! Oh my goodness, y'all. These sweet potatoes is a good size. Look at that. I wasn't even expecting that. So I got one purple one and white one. Yes! Breakfast. Now let's get some eggs, but I'm going to need a child for that because these chickens have decided to lay their eggs on the opposite side of the coop where we cannot reach. They climb under the ledge and they all lay their eggs, and it's so interesting. Like, I'm just wondering, do they take turns laying them in the pile or what? Because they all are in a pile and one chicken lays on top of them. Ooh, my goodness. That was so delicious. I feel so much better and so ready to conquer all the gardening things. So as far as taste goes, and it's not exactly fair because sweet potatoes actually sweeten as a cure whenever the starches then turn into sugar. So if you harvest a sweet potato and you eat it, it's going to be less sweet than if you allow that sweet potato to cure and allow those starches to turn into all that delicious sweetness. But comparing the two together, it was so interesting. The white one actually tasted a little bit sweeter than the purple one, and the purple one actually tasted like the texture was like more starchy. They're both delicious and I'm so excited about having them, but I could definitely tell the difference. If my eyes was closed and I ate the white sweet potato and I ate the purple one, I could tell the difference. Like the purple one felt like a meaty potato. It just had that real meaty taste. I don't know if that makes sense, but such a cool thing. Isn't gardening fun? I mean, I honestly feel like it's a whole new world to be able to come outside, harvest, go inside, and cook and eat the food that you grew, like a whole meal. If you are meat free, there's a whole meal waiting in the garden. So I know zinnias are so many people's favorites. They are definitely one of mine. These beauties are all over the garden and they are just lasting and just being beautiful, and it just makes me so happy with all that pop of color. Well guys, I better get to work separating all of these seedlings. If you are just joining our Freedom Song journey, welcome. I'm really happy that you're here. If you have been along for the ride for any amount of time, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining me in the garden today.